Hey you guys, how's it going? I'm going to bring you my Shadow Priest guide. I'm going to cover rotation, glyphs, talents, your raid cooldowns, things like that. Let's go ahead and jump right into the talents. The first tier here, that's your CC tier. Void Tendrils tends to be the most useful for PvE. Psyfiend and Dominate Mind are fun, but I tend to use Void Tendrils most of the time. Your second tier, that's your mobility. Body and Soul's good because you can just, throw your Power Word shield on you and just run around really fast if you need to. Angelic Feather, I tend to like it better because it has 3 charges and you can just place the feathers down if you think you're going to need them. And if you cast one after the other on yourself, you can keep that speed increase for a long time. You can just run across, you can run huge amounts very fast. The third tier, that is a damage increasing tier. I usually take Solace and Insanity. What it does is when you put a Devouring Plague on the target, when you cast Mind Flay, it turns it into Mind Flay Insanity. Mind Flay deals 33% more damage for each orb, so it pretty much does 100% more damage because you should always be using Devouring Plague at 3 Shadow Orbs. And Mind Flay Insanity just looks so cool and does a ton of damage. I'm going to show you right now. We're going to throw the Devouring Plague up, and we're going to Mind Flay Insanity. The cool thing about this is if you, when Devouring Plague has like 1 second left, recast Mind Flay, and your Mind Flay Insanity will last after Devouring Plague's off the target. The cast bar here we have shows each tick, so you want to be sure to end it right after a tick. Any of the casting time in the middle of these ticks is just wasted. Mindbender's alright. It changes your Shadow Fiend into a 1-minute cooldown that does more damage and gives you more mana. From Darkness Comes Light is actually a lot of fun, especially on multi-target fights. Periodic damage from your Vampiric Touch has a 20% chance to make your Mind Spike deal 50% more damage, cost no mana, and it's instant cast, and it doesn't agree to your damage over time effects. This one's a lot of fun. I usually take this for multi-target fights, and this one for single target fights. The next tier is our survivability. Desperate Prayer heals you for 30% of your health on 2-minute cooldown. Spectral Guise is, I don't ever take that, it's not very helpful. Angelic Bulwark, anytime a damaging attack brings you below 30% health, you gain a shield for 20% of your health, lasting 20 seconds, and it's on a 9-second cooldown. Angelic Bulwark has a shorter cooldown, it gives you a shield for 20%, and Desperate Prayer has a 2-minute cooldown and heals you for 30%. I like Angelic Bulwark better because if you go below 30% health, probably a healer is going to be healing you back, and if you use this, it'll heal you for 30%, but you're going to probably get a lot of overhealing. The shield's better because the shield, the damage you take will take the shield first, so there probably won't be that much overhealing, and it's a shorter cooldown. This next tier is damage increasing talents. I usually take Twist of Fate, especially in Siege of Orgrimmar, with all the ads. There's bound to be something below 35% health, a lot of the fight. So if you see an ad with 35% or lower, throw Shadow Word Pain, throw a Shadow Word Death if they're below 20%, and it'll give you this buff that increases your damage by 15%. That's, you can keep it a lot in Siege of Orgrimmar with the multi-target fights. Power Infusion's alright. It's a 2-minute cooldown, increases your spell haste by 20% and your damage by 5%. Divine Insight gives your Shadow Word Pain a 5% chance to reset the cooldown of your Mind Blast and causes it to be instant cast and cost no mana. Twist of Fate, I just always take this. It's nice, it's passive, and you can keep it up quite a bit with ads. I always take Halo for this next tier. Halo looks cool, does a lot of damage, and does a lot of healing. Divine Star Cascade, they're alright I guess. But I just always take Halo. The glyphs, I don't have all the glyphs on this character. I'm taking Inner Fire, Inner Sanctum, and Reflective Shield. Inner Fire gives you 50% more armor from your, from your Inner Fire. So it increases armor by 90%. When you add this to the 100% armor from your Shadow form, you've got a ton of armor. Glyph of Inner Sanctum reduces your spell damage taken by 6%. Gives you this buff called Spell Warding. Reflective Shield, I wouldn't actually take that. I would take maybe Glyph of Fade. When you use Fade, it reduces all damage taken by 10%. Mass Dispel causes your Mass Dispel to remove magic effects that normally can't be dispelled. I would take one of those two in this one's place. Your minor glyphs are not important. Dark Archangel looks cool. Shadowy Friends is pretty cool if you like having a pet out. If you want to see your transmog, Glyph of Shadow, that really helps for that. As far as your stats go, you want to be getting as much haste as you can. You can use Ask Mr. Robot. He'll show you, or it'll show you how to get hit capped and still have as much haste as possible with your reforging and your gems and your enchants. Your rotation, if you take Solace and Insanity and Halo and Twist of Fate, you're gonna want to put your dots up, make sure Mind Blast is on cooldown. When you're just gonna cast a normal Mind Flay, you use Halo instead. Keep Halo on cooldown that way. Make sure your dots don't fall off. Make sure Mind Blast is on cooldown. Mind Flay's your filler. When you clip Mind Flay, make sure it's after a tick. When you get 3 orbs, if you take Solace and Insanity, you're going to want to make sure that your dots have a lot left on them or near full. If they're almost about to go away, go ahead and just recast your dots. Then you're going to throw your Devouring Plague up and then Mind Flay Insanity. Try to get as much as you can. And then you just follow this. You make sure your dots are up, Mind Blast, Halo, Mind Flay. And this is pretty much what it is. It's pretty simple. If you're into more proc-based gameplay, the other way of playing is to take From Darkness Comes Light and Divine Insight, and then your Mind Spike and your Mind Blast are going to be proccing through the fight. That makes it a little bit more exciting if you want. I like the fluid style that these talents provide. Your raid cooldowns, you got Shadow Fiend, that's a big DPS cooldown. For healing, you got Vampiric Embrace. How you want to use that is you want to use it when you got 3 Shadow Orbs. You want to use Devouring Plague. Make sure your dots are up. You're gonna use your Mind Flay, Insanity, and then immediately after that, you're gonna throw your Halo out, Mind Blast, and then go into your normal rotation. It lasts for 15 seconds. So you can put out a lot of shadow damage, and that's a lot of healing that you're gonna be doing. Void Shift, that's a 10-minute cooldown. Dispersion is a big defensive cooldown. You don't want to be using it for mana, because if you're using your Vampiric Touch enough, you'll never have mana problems. You want to be using it when you're like in danger of dying, or like a big hit's coming and you need to absorb it. Let's see. That looks like about it. If you need to do any kind of crowd control or anything, you have your Void Tendrils. Not really crowd control. If you need to, stop some ads or something and get out of there, that's really good for that. You have Mass Dispel. Don't forget about that, especially with the glyph. If you take that, you have Hymn of Hope. This restores mana to 3 nearby low mana friendly party or raid targets. It's on a 6-minute cooldown. It's very nice for your healers. I think that's about it, guys. Shadow's pretty simple spec, but it's a ton of fun. If you haven't tried it, you should totally try it. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. It's very fluid, and you have a couple different options with your talents to change the style of play. It's all around just a fun spec. The single target damage isn't that great right now. We do a lot better on multi-target fights. The single target is just, it's what, like middle of the pack, I guess. It's not that amazing, but it's a lot of fun. As always, guys, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be putting out a lot more damage guides, and what I'm going to try to do is put a top 5 transmog, and then do the guides for the DPS specs of that class. I already did the priest transmog, and here's the priest damage guide. So hopefully going to follow in that sort of order. Probably gonna do the warlock next. But anyway, guys, I'll see you later.